Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy the video today. We're going to go through the Origin teams that have been brought out to us now. So we're going to go through my Queensland team first of all and my positives and negatives, then go through the New South Wales team and the positives and negatives. Do make sure also that I am kind of predicting the way the New South Wales team is going to run out due to the way they named their team. They didn't really name them like Billy did, where it was, you know, through their whole positions and all that sort of stuff. And it did also seem like that Freddie didn't name a couple of people here. Obviously, he only named 18 compared to Billy naming 19. So really interesting period of football coming up. I can't wait for State of Origin. As you all know, this is all coming down. Like, I'm a Queensland born boy. I love Queensland born and bred. So I'm going to try to be very in the middle with this one. But, you know, obviously Queenslander all the way through. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on the team and your thoughts on the way this Origin series will go. Okay, so let's get through the Queensland team first. So first of all, at fullback, we have Reece Walsh playing fullback. At wing, we got Cobbo and Taulagi, which is, I really love this Taulagi pick. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Then we got Val and the Hammer in centers. A bit wayward on the Hammer pick, but you know, we'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. Munster, DC in the halves. We all knew that was going to be there. Legler getting a really nice spot up front there with Ben Hunt as a hooker. Lindsay Collins in the other front row spot. Tom Gilbert, Fafita, Carrigan finishing off the front row of the forward spot for our team here. Harry Grant, our bench hooker, who will bring a whole lot of spark coming off the bench. Tino for Asul Malaawi, Ruben Cotter, Jai Arrow, Tommy Dearden is our 18th man, and our 19th man is Christian Welch. And I think that was, you know, judging by like picking 19, all that sort of stuff, maybe that was a pick just to say like Christian is our leader of our forward pack sort of thing. He's going to walk into camp and help all our boys out. There's still going to be a couple more that will feed into camp. I'm guessing like Corey Horsburgh and stuff like that. Maybe Hopgood. Players like that, I feel like they're going to come into camp as well and just be around the boys, but they won't be playing this game coming up. And we're talking points for this one for my Queensland team. So number one, I love the Walshy pick, and I feel like we have to talk about this first because it's probably the biggest pick that we have going on here other than the Gagai and Hammer pick that they had going on. But I really do love Walshy, and I think, you know, coming from me being a Warriors fan and a Queenslander Warriors fan, all that sort of stuff, the Broncos are my second team due to my dad being a massive Broncos fan and all that sort of stuff. I love the Warriors. I just grew up loving the Warriors. I love Shawnee Johnson. He's my favorite player of all time, all that sort of stuff. So that's the reason why I swing the Warriors. But Reece Walsh, I just think he's so erratic. He's so out off the cuff. He's so like, he can make Origin moments happen. And I think you hear it every single time from like Phil Gill and all that sort of stuff coming into Origin. And Origin is built on moments. And a player like Reece Walsh that isn't scared of taking any moments, you see it in club form. I think he's going to take the moments and really, like, I think he's going to be the weapon that we have that can change the game in moments for the best or for the worst. And that's the thing with Walshy. He's very high risk, high reward. I feel like he feels like that too coming into this Broncos team. If you watch him over the weekend, when the Broncos put him in really good positions, he strikes and he makes it a 6-point game, if that makes sense. Like whenever he gets put in great positions, as in if he has a 3-on-2, all that sort of stuff, he usually makes the right pick, whether a kick and that. Sometimes he can get erratic into like when he feels like his team's behind and he needs to make the play happen. But in Origin, I'm pretty sure with Billy watching over him, he'll make the best out of Reece Walsh in Origin. I'm really, really excited to see, number one, Reece Walsh in this game, but also number two, Reece Walsh out of Origin and what he picks up from Billy and the Origin arena, because we all know players go to a whole different level after Origin as well. So the other thing on that is obviously we've got to talk about KP, and I honestly do believe, like, you know, no matter how much I love Walshy, I think Walshy is perfect for the second position. I thought he's definitely the next man up the way he's been playing football at the moment. I know a couple of other boys do disagree with that, but I do just think, like, you know, whether you're seeing it like kind of, I know Walshy can be erratic, but he is like just this spark, and we need someone like that has a little bit of spark. With KP, I would have definitely had him there no matter what. Like, you know, after the last couple of weeks and all that sort of stuff, he was my front runner for that fullback role. But him playing 5'8" and probably the knock over the weekend did not help him at all. And I think with Billy, I think this was more of a health thing. I just watched a little bit of the press conference. I finished it just to make this video and all that sort of stuff and all that. But the press conference that he came out and said, he didn't really nail it down because I don't think Kalen wants to bring it out public. You know, he's been really dealing with it for a while now that everyone's like, if he gets one more head knock, he's done. In the Origin arena, you're more likely going to get a head knock or anything going on. And I just feel like this is like more of a loyalty thing for KP and the Knights, is also just saying, I don't want to put you in there now until you play consistent footy. You get over these sort of like this sort of moment and you got a spot coming back in there. Depending on, it all depends on how Walshy plays coming at the end of the day as well. So I just think if we didn't have Walshy playing the way he is right now and AJ Brimson's that's out with injury right now and all that sort of stuff, KP is definitely there no matter what. You know, if we didn't have those boys, even with the head knocks, I think KP might be playing. But now because we got the pick of the litter where we have like Walshy, we have AJ when he gets back from injury, we got the hammer, players like that, KP can be rested for this period. And I'm not too down on it, even though he was our best player last year. I think Walshy's got enough to offer here. So a couple more positives. Obviously, the Tom Gilbert pick. I love Gilbert so much. I think he's been amazing for the Dolphins. I think he's just built this whole culture with the Dolphins, with the Storm boys and all that sort of stuff. I do really like it sucks that Felice Kafusi misses out because I would have loved to see Felice in the Origin arena. And I think with the next coming weeks when Origin next like game 2, game 3, if he's available for those, if he doesn't do any more high shots or anything going on. And to be honest, my honest opinion on that is like, it kind of would have been a bit weird if he didn't get put like, you know, a couple of weeks on the sideline for a tackle like that. So to be honest, it is what it is. It happened. But Tommy Gilbert's definitely a great player to have back in there. And I would have had Tommy Gilbert on my team either way, like just sitting on the bench or something like that. He's just an Origin player. Every time I see him watch him play for Redcliffe, the Dolphins, sorry, he just bleeds Origin. Like, he just looks like he's an Origin player. He chirps, he like gets in every bit of contest. He's always chasing back. He's always one of the first people back when you see a massive break and all that sort of stuff happen. Amazing player to have in our Origin team. I love that Billy went with a really aggressive pack. So Flegler, Collins, Gilbert, Arrow, and Tino, all very aggressive players in their moments, all really dig into a contest. Ruben Cotty could put in that consideration as well, but I think Ruben to me looks more like a workhorse. Like, you could put like Gilbert and Collins as more of a workhorse as well, but I feel like Collins got that like that Queensland dog in him, like, you know what I mean? And like, you got Gilbert and he's got that like, they chirp more, they do things like that, where Cotter gets through his business and he's a workhorse, like all that sort of stuff. Like Tino, he loves to get in the business. Jai Arrow, Flegler, these sort of boys need to be on their game for Origin, especially with the big pick of Tavita Pangai Jr. in the other team. We need a player that can push Pangai over the edge, and that's really where I see our boys having big moments here, especially Flegler. The way he's been playing at the moment, playing on high energy, high intensity. I'm really excited to see him let loose in Origin this year. Hopefully, no sin bins and all that sort of stuff. Maybe, who knows. The last positive I have for Queensland is I love the Murray Taulagi pick. I really do. I've always loved Murray Taulagi. I've always been saying that I think he's honestly one of the best wingers, like defensive wingers in the comp for sure. He's probably for me number 1, number 2, but he's just a classy elite winger. He doesn't really do anything wrong, and we need someone that doesn't create too many errors and stuff coming out of their back end and can bend a line from their back end. Cobbo can bend a line, but Cobbo does have some errors in him, and we need a safe winger. Like for Hammer, he's safe, but he doesn't bend the line when he comes back. He does seem to float around and all that sort of stuff. We still got Hammer in the team, but if we had him on wing, I do see the New South Wales boys picking up like under him and not getting many meters, where Murray makes big meters and he's just safe. Like, he's really, really safe. So I like having him there. He's like a Corey Oates in a way, but Corey Oates can have some errors in him as well. I'm really liking the Murray Taulagi pick, especially next to his boy Valentine Holmes on that center wing. I think one of the biggest negatives I have in this team, and this is coming on to negatives as well, is Dane Gagai missing out. And I've been kind of like the Crusader, not the Crusader, because I haven't made too many videos or anything around it, but I've always thought Dane Gagai has actually been playing pretty decent this weekend. I know, this year. This weekend, he did suffer a whole lot of defensive lapses against Connor Tracy. And to be fair, like, I think the Sharks just do that to many teams and all that sort of stuff. I know there was a couple of one-on-one moments where Gagai really slipped off and all that sort of stuff. But I do also question that if the Hammer is the better option here, mainly being a fullback going to center. And I know the argument that everyone's going to say, Hammer played really well against Tommy when they played against each other in Origin a couple of years back. But I would also say that if he's replacing Gagai, it's going to be Gagai's side, which is Latrell's side. And I just see Latrell kind of overpowering Hammer on that side, where I feel like Gagai grows an extra leg in Origin. He can do some things that just like, I don't know whether the Hammer is going to be the one to like shut down Latrell and Fox on that side. I know with speed, he could probably keep up or get to Fox or whatever. But I don't know, man. That's the only question I really have on our side. There's really not much else I can pick out of. Like, I know Walshy can be erratic and that could be a negative in that, but I also think that's a positive in our favor because Billy will have him under his wing and he can do things that Billy used to be able to do in Origin. So I'm really excited to see that sort of dynamic play off with each other. I'm really excited for this team. There's not really any negatives I can get out of it other than the Gagai pick, but knowing Billy, knowing the team, knowing Queensland, we always seem to just make it work. So hopefully we do make it work, but I do also seeing that being a strike play for the Blues coming into this game. So moving on to the Blues team, this is my predicted Blues team. So also like, because he didn't name this in positions, all that sort of stuff, we still don't know whether they're going to run out and who's going to run out and what positions, all this sort of stuff. So this is me predicting this team. But at fullback, I got Teddy. At wing, we got Toto and Fox. I think Fox will be on the side with Latrell and his center. The other center is up for grabs. I have no clue whether they're going to go Graham or Tommy. I do also will touch on a little bit later on whether I think maybe Tommy could be playing 14. And I don't know whether that's way out of the realm, more so because Tommy's a big body. He can get through limited minutes and all that sort of stuff, and he may cover more positions than Nico. I know Nico probably could cover in hooker at moments and all that sort of stuff, but I do also think like Tommy could cover, like, I don't know. He's a bigger body and all that sort of stuff. I do have a feeling that that could be the way that Fittler maybe goes. But then again, like if I name it top to bottom, we'll keep going through and we'll see how we go with that one. But as I said, Trell and Graham for me, maybe the center picks, but Trell and Tommy could be definitely our other center picks there. Lua and Cleary is in our halves. Haas and Bolo is up front for the front row. Api Coruscant in 9, Frizzell at 11, Liam Martin at 12, Isaiah Yeo for 13. I do think that's the way they're going to run out, mainly because I think Frizz is going to lock down that second row spot and Liam Martin's going to go to the other one. You could see Hudson Young maybe starting here too, but I really think they're going to go with like the sturdier option to start with, and then Hutto is just going to cause havoc from the middle when he comes back on. Nico Hines for me is at 14 at the moment. This is all just like, you know, speculating whether like maybe like, as I said, I have nothing on Tommy or anything, whether he's going to play 14 and this and that. Like this is all me just coming off the top of my head, but I can see a world that does happen, but who knows? Like, and Nico could play 18th man, but either one of these two boys could be playing 18th man coming into Origin. So who knows? Like that's really, really interesting. Murray, Pangai, Young is going to fill out the bench roles there with Tommy 18th man for me at the moment, but then again, as I said before, could totally change. So as I said before, I'm very conflicted. I don't know whether Tommy or Graham is going to start there. I do really reckon that if like you're going to go one way, like Graham has been playing center for the whole season, been killing it there. When you're on Toto's edge as well, like the one edge I want to set in stone is Trell and Fox. If you got to have those two together, they are one of my positives. I'll touch on them now. I feel like that's the side we're going to deal with more than anything. And Trell can make things happen in Origin, but when we have someone like Fox on that edge, his positioning, his speed, that is what worries me in Origin here. I think Fox usually makes small moments into devastating moments for Queensland, and I've seen it that many times in Origin. I do expect the boys to play a little bit better with him and all that sort of stuff, but like when you got the hammer dinging up on Latrell Mitchell at a center, no matter where Trell is playing in NRL, Latrell is the best center in football when he plays center. So I'm really I'm worried on that edge a little bit, but I know the boys will step up, but that's the edge I'm worried about. But this also comes back to the other edge. Do you want to go safe? Do you want to go Graham and Toto, or do you want to go Tommy that has been there, has done it? I don't know. Like, what's the safe option? I really don't know. I'm conflicted on that side, especially when he's named both of them. It sounds like he's named both of them mainly to stop a media storm around the team. If you're going to name both, you're going to name both. But then again, like I feel like Tommy maybe will fill in an 18th man. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm conflicted on this. I really am conflicted on this. My other positive, and we'll just touch on all the other ones and all that sort of stuff. So Frizzell, I'm very, very positive on. I love Frizzell. I've been calling for it for a while now that Frizzell should be that second role for Origin, especially with all the boys that you guys have out. Frizzell's been probably the most consistent player for that Knights team all season. The reason when the Knights are going well is mainly because of him and his side and the way that he just goes about his business. Not a lot of things go wrong on his side of the ball. Like I've always thought Frizzell is so safe on that side. He's a great football player, and we've seen big Origin moments from Frizzell. So whenever he gets picked, that will happen. So I'm really excited for him. Good to see Liam Martin made the team as well. He's been playing even though coming back off that injury and all that sort of stuff, he's just been snapping blokes in NRL. So I'm really excited for that. And my last positive is just seeing Nico Hines in Origin. If he plays that 14 role, I'm very, very curious and excited to see how Nico Hines plays Origin. My only caveat to that is Nico benefits from a whole lot of space in NRL. Teams give him a bit more space than what usual for him to move, for him to do things, especially on short side raids, especially in other moments. Origin, you don't get much space. You don't get much space in time, and I think that's why Luai does get picked as well. I feel like Luai does he complements his game a little bit more. He bounces off tackles. He bounces everywhere and all that sort of stuff. When Nico is such a flowy football player, you're watching him, he's like a fullback playing 7. He flows everywhere. When he has time and space, he makes it like he makes it work. But what I do love about Nico is he uses every man around him. If you watch him for the Shark, if Ramian's got an extra step on that center, he gives it early. He doesn't like go deep into the line and take away his option. He gives it early. He lets Ramian do all his work. He covers whenever like there's a line breakthrough. He's the second man. He's there to cover. He's there to make the big play to happen and all that sort of stuff. That's what I love about Nico, and that's where I think he thrives in Origin. The only thing is whether he gets time and space. That's the only thing I have on Nico coming into Origin, and maybe his defense, but depending on when he's playing 14, I'm not too sure where Nico is going to get implemented into this game. And that's the reason why I do bounce between whether Nico or Tommy will play, because I feel like Tommy can play through the middle. I really do. I just think that Nico, when he comes on, I feel like he's going to have to play like a second, like half role or all that sort of stuff. Where Tommy, I feel like he just can be used to pop up anywhere. So that's my honest opinion on it. I'm not too sure. Comment down below your thoughts on it, because I'm still so conflicted on this team. Now, negatives, and I don't want to bash home on it because like I feel like Pangai gets a whole lot of negatives for the media and all that sort of stuff either way. But I feel like Pangai being a pick is a double-edged sword. We've seen Pangai step up in big moments against Tamalolo, against all the big teams and all that. When like Pangai's aggressive, when he's playing like at that really good aggression level, he's one of the most damaging forwards in the league, and that he could break a game open for you 100%. Like he's like our Walshy pick, like, but in a total different sense. Like he can change the game through his aggression. Players will be watching at the corner of the eye for Pangai. Whoever Pangai is, Pangai could be really damaging to you. But I do also think that the Queensland forwards will get under his skin and will push him to that whole new level that he could go sin bin, send off, and then you got the big boys in the middle where their bench, as I was like sort of touching on a little bit later on, the bench is not as big as what I think it could be. Like if Olakau'atu got picked over Hado Young, I could see Olakau'atu play bigger minutes through the middle if they need to, if something like this sort of happens. But you'd have to like fall back on maybe Cam Murray to play more middle as well, which is definitely 100%. But when you got like, you know, Paulo and Haas can play full big 80 minutes and all that sort of stuff, is whether you want them to. And when Pangai comes out, but then again, that could like be the best party. Like if Pangai goes out there, takes people's heads off, there's a fight that happens and he takes an Queenslander with him to the sin bin, like that could play to your favor. More space on the field, more space for the Blues to hit their plays. We can't just grit and grind in a contest the way it goes. So maybe that could be the way to play it. I'm not too sure. I think for me, there's not many negatives really with both these Origin teams, but I'm just trying to nitpick some negatives here. And I feel like the Pangai pick, that's the only negative. The positive with Pangai is, as I said before, if he's in just under that red line, he's the most damaging, the most dangerous front rower or like forward in the league, honestly, in my opinion. His offloads could be the downfall as well. So who knows how that goes, but whether he gets played into his shell, or I just don't see that from Pangai. I think he's going to come out there, be aggressive, and just take cunts' heads off. I honestly do think that. And if you really want me to be nitpicking as well, my last negative would be what happens with Graham and Tommy. Whether that, like, what happens? Like, if Tommy doesn't play, does he play 18th man? Does he play 14? Does Nico go 18th man? Does the bench look smaller? Does the bench, that's the only negatives I have of this New South Wales team. I think it's been picked very, very smartly by Fittler. I do also think that, like, you know, the Tommy and Graham picks is to keep the media away because they've both been named. It really comes down to game day, who plays in that role. So I'm really, really excited to see how that goes. So yeah, guys, to end off the video, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I hope you enjoyed all the sort of content that I'm bringing to the channel. I will be growing. There's a lot more ideas that I have coming into my head. You will be excited for it in the future. So please make sure you like and subscribe down below. Comment down below your thoughts on this Origin Game 1. I'm so excited. It's in Adelaide, so I'm really, really excited to see how it gets played, what gets like called, like what happens and all that sort of stuff. Sucks Kaufusi can't be there, and Tino still has a cloud over him from what I hear, but we'll see how the boys go there. And with the New South Wales, I honestly think this could be like the best team you pick at the moment. Cookie does miss out, which does suck, but I also maybe see with like the next extra man coming into the camp, you could have your like Cookies and all that sort of stuff that can bleed. Like the success of the Blues when they have had success is usually Cookie and all that. He'll usually help all those boys out. So I'm really excited to see this Origin series. I can't wait. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys. Up the Queenslanders.